The RV Show USA is brought to you by Flagstaff, Rockwood, building better RVs, making smarter RVers.
Well, the reports of bad campground behavior continue to pour in, I'm telling you. And they are all saying pretty much the exact same thing. That is, people are just acting like slobs, complete idiots. Not all people, just too many people, specifically in campgrounds. I'm telling you, it's an epidemic everywhere. That said, I'm proud to say that I am a supporter of the Be a Better Camper movement. If you're not aware of it, it's where people are realizing that sitting back and allowing others to trash our parks, trash our campgrounds, just sit back and hope that the slobs will stop is no longer an acceptable option. Campers are trying to be more active than ever before, more proactive, in trying to stop bad campground behavior. And they're doing it by reporting those who are screwing up a great camping experience for everybody else. To help in the Be a Better Camper effort, I do these weekly videos where I share stories that I see from campers in the campground that my wife and I own. Everything from, drunks and people who cut through other people's sites to cussing and fighting and trashing things and burning picnic tables, not picking up after their pets. You get it. The things we see at our campground, they are happening everywhere. It's not just a few campgrounds either. It's every campground. And by sharing these stories of what's happening all across the country, the good campers, and that is the majority of people, are beginning to wake up and realize that bad campers, bad RVers are a real problem. How bad is it? Here is one of many, many calls we received this past week from some volunteer campground workers in my home state of Texas.
Yeah, Mr. Wingman, this is regarding the what would you do? I think there's a bigger issue at hand. I live in Houston. My husband and I have park hosted numerous times. We see much worse than what you're seeing in the state parks. And part of the problem is the state parks law enforcement, which would be the white game warden, does not necessarily enforce even the laws set down by the state. So, for instance, not being able to take dogs in the bathroom unless they're service dogs, and the dogs go in the bathroom and they poop, and then we're expected to clean it up. And it's one thing, if somebody had an accident, but there's signs clearly posted, no dogs allowed, do not wash your dishes in the sinks in the bathroom. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. And we try to, politely go up and say, you see them drop something on the ground that blows away or whatever. You offer them a bag, say, things like, would you like me to pick that up for you? Kind of, I guess, embarrassing them to do it. And half the time, they just kind of look at you like you're stupid. And this is seen more in the day use area, but it's certainly in the paid part. And they do not go back and find people, or do anything to curb their behavior. So as the parks are getting more and more used, I think it's bleeding over to the people that own private campgrounds, and they get away with it in the state parks, so they think they can get away from it here. And be honest, when you ask them, questions, they get very defensive, and we've had people pull up into campsites that are clearly day users. They don't have the tags to get in, because they come in after hours or whatever, and when the person who's rented the spot shows up, it comes down to a confrontation sometimes, and they're like, well, I can be here. It's like the sign clearly says that when you get a certain part in the park that is for paid RV use only or for paid guests or however it's worded, and they don't seem to care one way or the other, and they don't seem to feel that their need to have to get up and boogie out. And I mentioned earlier, we pick up garbage on Galveston. We'll go down there for the day, and we'll pick up garbage, and people will go, oh, you're picking it up because you got time to do or something. And it's like, this isn't TBC orange I'm wearing my regular clothes. And they'll say thank you, and I'll offer. It's like, you take a bag and pick up some trash too. And they just look at us like we're stupid. And we're somebody who truly does like the park. So, when we see stuff, we clean it up. And it's just a different frame of mind dealing with that set of public probably to the private people you see. But I think you're getting bleed over from what the state park has to put up with.
Isn't that sad? I think it is. I also think that it's time for good campers to help campground owners, to encourage campground owners and their employees and even park rangers to enforce their rules. Wouldn't it be nice if campgrounds enforced their rules? I mean, come on. So we didn't have to deal with the jerks and drunks and people who are clearly ruining the weekend for everybody else. If we don't have to, if we just sit back and don't do anything, does anybody think that less bad campground behavior is going to result from it? I don't think so. if we all do just a little bit, if we follow campground rules, if we respect other campers, if we will report bad campers, and if we expect and demand that campgrounds enforce their rules, I think that we will begin to stem the tide. So stay tuned. In the coming weeks, you're going to hear a lot more about the Be a Better Camper movement. And by the way, it is free. Nobody's going to be asking you for anything except to encourage everybody to be a better camper. Not a perfect camper, just a better one. If you'd like to be notified when the website is up and running, just leave us a voicemail with your name and cell number. We'll let you know when the website and the program goes live. Leave your voicemail at 1-330-WINGMAN. That's 1-330-WINGMAN. Don't want to spell it out. 1-330-946-4626.